Known for a lot of things. Video games, not necessarily one of them.
But that's about to change. In today's Welcome to Texas report, Russ McCaskey heads to Collin County with a pocket full of change to the brand new National Video Game Museum.
In 1972, this simple video game called Pong started a revolution. Now a couple of video game fanatics have created a national museum to showcase just how far they've come.
There were exhibits within museums like the Smithsonian or the Strong Museum of Play, but not a dedicated one in this country. And we were particularly surprised that there are other countries that have their own national video game museums, but our country, where it was all born, doesn't.
Now it does. The National Video Game Museum in Frisco takes you through the history of the industry. And while it is a learning experience, the creators say, come ready to play.
It's hands-on, it's a tactile experience. You should play games, it should be a very visceral thing. It's not meant to be a place that you stand and read.
You should know the video game industry has not been all fun and games. In the museum, they highlight the crash of '83, which some attribute to the game E.T.
A lot of people have misconceptions that it's all because the game E.T. was bad and the E.T. tanked the whole industry, but the truth is a lot more complex than that.
Santoli says companies with no experience were trying to cash in on the craze. Also, home computers were becoming affordable, but some systems were slow and clunky, like this Coleco.
The technology was bad. It's clearly a very poor design. In fact, you had to have the printer connected to the power supply in order to have the computer work.
But eventually, Super Mario would come along and resurrect the industry. The museum features a retro living room and a typical 80s arcade with classics such as Donkey Kong and Frogger.
The beauty of Frogger is that there's no buttons. The entire game is just played with a 4-directional joystick. So anybody can come up and play it, but it's also deceptively difficult, right?
You may have thought it was game over for these classics years ago, but at the National Video Game Museum, they live to play another day. In Frisco, Russ McCaskey, CBS 11 News.
Well, I love that the games are still a quarter. Hey, if you're ready to head out, the museum doors, they open this Saturday. The museum is near Toyota Stadium off the Dallas North Tollway in Frisco. Tickets are $12 and $10 for the kids.
I don't know about you guys, but as a child of the 90s, I find it really troubling that Super Mario Brothers is in a museum.